Hello, ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans all. Welcome to FTW Future Focus. I am your not so humble correspondent, Robert Black, and beneath me is the man from Chicago, Illinois, the silent but deadly man with the sharpest opinions in the wrestling internet world, and he loves women's wrestling just about as much here on the highway. He is Tony Motown Allen. How you doing, sir?
You say Tony?
Oh, you said Tony.
Oh, I'm sorry, marvelous Marcus Buckley. I thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. That one I'll give for free because I messed up. I am very sorry, marvelous Marcus Buckley. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, y'all?
Tony,
That's
what happened, man? I thought you were supposed to be over here with us.
That was an honest mistake. I apologize, Marcus. I'm used to Tony being catty corner. That's why I did that. But marvelous Marcus Buckley, good to see you. And to my side is the founder of our feast, the president of FTW Network, former professional wrestler and current producer, and a novice of fine wines, as we just found out a little while ago. He is the mastermind, Bobby Rogers. How you doing?
What's up, y'all? Hey,
Mm.
quick shout out, Wendy. What's up? Want to say hey. She's gonna be watching. Um, also Tony is out today. Man's in St. Louis going nuts, running that world wild down there. Hope you having fun, Tony. Um, right now, got a couple of issues that's going on in the wrestling world, and I tell you, I be wanting to break out this grandma gear so bad, and I be trying to hold off on it because I know I'll light people up when I do it. But they got a guy named Ango out there. Now, I got to admit, this guy, he's very informative. He's a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at him. He does a lot of good stuff. But the problem is this. He says some things at times that is just, it's like, where did you get this from? So, we're going to be discussing one subject that he discussed on his program. And I'm going to get you guys' opinion on it. And then I'm going to flow in afterwards. It's not going to be quite grind my gears, but it's going to be close to it almost. But the first subject we're going to talk about is what we all was waiting for last week. That was the 2024 WWE Royal Rumble under Endeavor this time. Ooh, spooky. Royal Rumble was not bad, in my opinion, but we got a couple of matches we want to talk about here. I mean, let me just go through the matches. All right. Women's Royal Rumble was first, of course.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of ups and downs in that one. More ups and downs, in my opinion. But Bayley ends up winning this Royal Rumble. So, Marcus, so you are the connoisseur on women's wrestling. We're going to go ahead and let you go first. Marcus, your opinion on the women's Royal Rumble.
Well, to me, the Royal Rumbles to me have lost their luster because every year you pretty much know only 2 or 3 of the participants has a chance to win because it's for the main event wrestling. So that pretty much eliminates most of the wrestlers. Like when you see, for example, Mulholland come out, it's like, okay, next. You know she ain't going to win. And it's about 26, 27 other people who you already know ain't going to win. So to me, that makes both the Rumbles kind of an afterthought. You're only looking for it, for me anyway, to see the surprises and the fucking, that moment. They do something ridiculously acrobatic. Acrobatic to get back in. So I mean, they got their first 2 surprises, like in a top 5 women. My Chocolate Thunder, my Sugar Baby, my Cocoa Bear came out too. And, Jordan Grace 5. Okay, so after that, it's like 6, 7, 8, continue. I thought it was the better of the two Rumbles, believe it or not. I thought it was better than the men's Rumble. But overall, it was still boring to me. I called Bailey winning. It wasn't a surprise at all because I knew it was either going to be her or Becky, depending on which way they wanted to go. But I don't think that was a surprise to anybody. And I thought it was. I rated it maybe a 2.5. It was just nothing. I was rooting for Naomi, but like we didn't get Sasha Banks, or we didn't get Camille's, or nothing like that. So it was just like, it was okay, kind of dull, but okay.
All right, Rob, go ahead.
Well, I thought that the Women's Rumble was the match of the night. So, but then again, a kind of a theme for this year's Rumble was basically flatline. There were only one or two offensive things to me during the whole night. We'll get to those in a little bit, but the theme of the night seems to have been like set at the Women's Rumble. There was nothing offensive, but there was nothing earth-shattering. There were a couple of surprise entrances, but everything seemed to kind of go along course for the most part. Bailey winning it wasn't really a surprise. We thought they would go in that direction. Overall, it was a inoffensive match, and it set the tone well. So I gave it 3.25, and that was the highest rated match of the night. Overall, it set the tone, and the tone was
Okay, well, my take on it might be a little different than both of you guys. The actual timing between the participants of this Women's Royal Rumble was impeccable. It was a lot better than what they've done in the matches before. The old Royal Rumble matches, it was a lot of off timing, blah, 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 blah. It seemed like they really honed it in this time. Yeah, Naomi came back. That made me smile. I was mad that she was shown so early, though. And also Jordan Grace. I almost flipped out the chair. That was touching to see Jordan Grace there. That girl handled her own. She was, throughout that match, it wasn't like she had her spot and then she disappeared. She was doing things throughout the match that just made you say, what the hell? This girl was a talent. She can hang with the big dogs of WWE, I think Jordan outclassed Becky. I think Jordan really outclassed everybody almost in that ring. Then you go down and Becky, of course, Bailey's doing her thing. And then you got Jade Cargill. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I don't see how anybody could be disappointed. And that's what makes me mad is people trying to clown and did say that she was outclassed Brian Alvarez. It was so hard for me not to do a grind my gears this week. Brian Alvarez literally gets on his platform, opens his mouth, and says, Jade Cargill was outclassed by every single women's superstar that came into that ring for the Royal Rumble.
Wow.
Now, a few names come off the top of my head. Maxine Dupree, class, no. Who else can we go with? Tegan Knox, no. Who's Garbaggio's fucking wife?
Oh,
Gargano's wife. Um,
Candace,
Candice LeRae.
Yeah, Candace LeRae. No. You got a whole bunch of them women in there that were nowhere on Jade's atmosphere. And Jade did what she was supposed to do. You could tell she's been training. You could tell she's gotten better. I mean, I feel a little guilty in part because sometimes I was like, oh, everybody's being harsh on Jade. You know what I'm saying? Y'all being harsh on Jade, blah, blah, blah. But after this little bit of training that she's done, I do see the improvements. I see what she was lacking when she was AEW. And I see what Triple H meant that it wasn't her fault. Because she's following everything she's doing by what she's being trained to do.
Well, I didn't think that she was really lacking anything before, but see, the problem here is that if they really she had a good showing in the Rumble, no doubt. I think everyone was really awed by the Bianca confrontation. I think that's what everybody was really waiting for, and that was played off perfectly. I think that it might have benefited Jade to get a kind of a Kane run where she eliminated 4 or 5 people. I think that would have made her look a lot better. But I disagree with Alvarez. I didn't think she looked bad. It's just they didn't try to make her Diesel, and that's probably a good thing because then people would be bitching about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alvarez is full of it. I don't think there was anything wrong with Jade in the Rumble,
and I think that they highlighted her strengths, in my opinion, because I mean, Bobby, you have more to train eye than I do, so I'm not ready to say that she's gotten better, but we all know that she's a powerhouse, and eliminating Nia Jax, and I love that spot with her and Bianca, press slamming. I forgot the opponents and looking at each other. I thought that was great. I would have liked to have seen her eliminate 8 or 9 women. I think that's the only way they could have made her look better. But considering, I think this was the best she could have looked, from not winning the Royal Rumble. So I'm not sure what match Brad Alvarez was watching. I thought she looked great, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it seemed, speaking of powerhouses, they were trying to reestablish Nia Jax in this match too. So
which they did.
Yeah.
So my thing, the way I look at it is, I didn't like the way it ended. Now, Marcus hit on something. Usually when you go through these matches, you can kind of tell who's going to win, who's not. They had a way to really do this that would have kept people guessing. Naomi, Jordan Grace, Tiffany Stratton, because she showed out. That girl showed out. I told y'all Tiffany Stratton was going to be the truth. Bailey, of course. Nia Jax. Jay Cargill. All of them should have been at the end. All of them. They shouldn't have had it to where, a couple of them got put out before and then all of a sudden we go, no, because you don't know if Naomi's going to come back and win the Rumble on her first, on her initial way coming back. Is a TNA star really going to win the Rumble? You know what I'm saying? And I actually would have had Jordan Grace go in the Final Four. She would have been eliminated to the Final Four to keep everybody guessing. But, unfortunately, they had a lot of these girls go out early that I think should have stayed in. And a lot of the girls that stayed in should have been eliminated way earlier. I don't give a crap about Tegan Knox. I don't give a crap about Gargano's wife. I don't care. Garbaggio needs to really go somewhere. He better be glad he's teamed up with Ciampa right now. I'm just saying. But his wife, really? What? How bigger nepotism do you have to go that you can show besides the Young Bucks when it comes to them two? I mean, they're almost neck and neck to tell you the truth. At least those two ain't running the company though. I mean, it was aggravating to see these people in the Rumble after Naomi, after Jordan Grace, when they should have had the honor of being the last ones in there and part of the finalization of getting everything eliminated. That's the only ruffle I have with this Rumble, this part of the Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble. I'm actually giving it a 4.
Wow.
Because I think the execution and the way these girls have trained, and it's just not one. I say 20 out of the 30 have trained so well till their timing was impeccable. You know, Zoe Stark, oh my God, good showing. And it's like, I hate talking like this because some people will look at this camera and say, "You big-headed motherfucker, what are you talking about?" But when you are in this business and you're in that ring, there are certain things that you see that shows if a person is improving. That shows that a person is really taking their craft to heart and wanting to improve, not for themselves, not to brag, but for the business itself. WWE has a core, more than a core girls right now. Women. Let me stop saying girls. Women. They've graduated from girls to women. That right now, I think, and I'm going to say a bold statement right here. Don't smack me, don't shoot me, but I think the women's division alone, the way they're improving, could outclass a lot of whole organizations out there. So, I know, Marcus, you can't stand women's wrestling days, but I'm just going to be honest with you. This is a step up. I gave it a 4. And I wish I could give it more, but the order of operations to where they got rid of people really bothered me. And it's really not the girl swat in the ring. That has to deal with more of the executive and planning and stuff like that. So, you know, if I was just rating it off the girls, it'll be a 5. It'll be a 5 for 20 of them, for 20 out of the 30. The other 10, of course, you're there for filler. So do what you do, but you know.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna change my score to I'm actually gonna give it a 3 because I forgot about Jade's spot. I think they really did a good job in highlighting Jade on there. So I'm gonna give them a couple bonus points for that. So I'm gonna change my score to a 3.
Okay.
Well, I stand pat for certain reasons that I'll discuss later. But
yeah, I know which part you're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about that one.
Yeah, we'll get there. But next match.
Next match up. Okay. Roman Reigns in a 4-way, taking on AJ Styles, LA Knight, Randy Orton for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship of the world. Yeah. Can I go first to this one, please?
Sure, go ahead.
You guys don't mind. Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Helen Keller, all 3 together could see this outcome coming. I'm just saying. This was a match that you knew it was going to happen, but you knew what was going to happen at the end, but you wanted to see how it was going to happen. I was partially interested in it because I actually thought that LA Knight, or especially LA Knight, was going to get screwed with the pinfall on this. And they didn't. Y'all was right. They did pick AJ to take the fall, which I think is commendable on AJ. Because it does keep Orton and
LA Knight
strong. You know, and you can't do nothing but tip your hat to that dude. Okay, y'all go over, I'll chill. You know what I'm saying? So much applause to AJ Styles, but you knew what was going to happen. You knew what was going to take place. It was kind of weird how it did take place, but I mean, it is what it is. You know, they had to do something before WrestleMania to give them some type of threat, and it did its purpose. I'm giving it a 2.5. Marcus.
It's like you already said. The match was for me a foregone. It was boring. I thought it ended abruptly. You know, I hated the fact that AJ had to take the pin, but I mean, when you look at the competitors in that match, I thought it was, you know, the most obvious choice. And in my opinion, by having those three guys in one match, it took away from the men's Royal Rumble and their star power, as far as I'm concerned. You know, so the match just I would have much rather seen Roman versus Randy Orton personally. And that's the match I would have liked to see. And they could have had Randy Orton take the fall and continue that into another story down the line. But the match to me was, I mean, it was dull, slow. I hate the part where they take a 10-minute break. You know, I can't. I don't like fatal four ways. So to me, the match was. I'm struggling to give it a 2, but that's what I.
Okay. Well, when it comes to you guys, I'm right on cue with Bobby here. It's 2.5. This was actually my lowest match of the night. Number one, it has the same problem that all scramble matches have, as Marcus just pointed out. Number two, we like Bobby said, we all saw the ending coming from a mile away, although we all wanted or speculated on a different ending if we could have had it. But yeah, we pretty much could read the writing on the wall as before the match happened. But number three, most of all, this match was dragged down by Roman Reigns. I'm sorry. This every time that we got AJ, Orton, and LA Knight in the ring together working the pace that they work, it was a good match. Those were the highlights of the match. But then Roman comes in and he changes the tempo. Roman comes in and he changes the song. And it was obvious that they had to slow things down specifically for him so that he could go over in the match. And as much as I understand that Roman has his own set of issues, that still drives me nuts. And it's been driving me nuts for 1.5 years, maybe longer. And it's just whenever everybody's got to pull back in order to make Roman look good, it takes away from every match he's in. So I couldn't give it any higher than a 2.5, even though it was good to see Orton and AJ do their thing again.
All right. Now let's go to our next match. WWE United States Championship. Logan Paul takes out Kevin Owens. Who hasn't gone first yet?
Rob.
Oh, go ahead, Rob.
All right.
Get it?
Okay, like this show, and I'll cover this when we like do our final analysis of the Rumble. But this match basically typifies everything that went into this show, and I think there's a specific reason for it. Logan Paul was inoffensive, and that's hard for me to swallow as considering my critiques of the man. Kevin Owens pulled this match to a respectable level. The ending of it was done smartly. I think it was garbage, but it was done smartly. It was smartly done garbage. So Owens knocks Paul the hell out with his own gimmick, his own knuckles. Referee catches it right before the 3 count. Classic example of a screw job finish. Done very well. Owens did very well, and he pulled Paul across the finish line. And Paul was inoffensive in his delivery. So I gave it a 3.0 just because it was bland for what it was, but at least they were creative with the ending, and you hardly ever see a DQ in a pay-per-view anymore. So that's it was basically par for the course, but there's a reason everything was booked on an even keel, but we'll get there.
Marcus.
This match, I really wish you was able to watch it with us, Rob. I really wish I could have seen your reaction on some of this stuff. But I pretty much agree with most of what you said, Rob. I mean, this match was dull and slow to me. I give Kevin Owens a lot of props because to me, this is Logan Paul's worst match. I'm concerned. I mean, KO has carried him through this whole program, doing the promos, doing the Friday night promo. He carried Logan Paul, and this match. I mean, it was just. I'm struggling to even say it was okay. It was just dull.
It was just there.
Right. There was just nothing there. It's almost like they used to say Harley Race could wrestle a broomstick to a good match. I mean, this is what it looked like. I'm not sure. I was very disappointed in Logan Paul in this match. I mean, you guys have been trying to convince me that he's good, he's great, he's this and that. But this match, I mean, he a guy that's only wrestled 5-6 matches. And to me, I mean, I was, this is just, he was the dead weight to me.
I think he's gotten up to a dozen somewhere.
Whatever it is, I mean, he looked like it last week to me. And if I'm Rip Oliver, I'm getting in his ass. He made me look bad as a trainer.
I wouldn't go that far, but
I mean, and the ending I'll touch on later in the ending, but the match to me was 1.75. I just nothing for me at all. I mean, I know I did. I don't know what I was thinking and saying. I think I said Kevin Owens was going to win this match, but I don't know why I thought that going into WrestleMania. But yeah, this was the worst match of the night for me.
How in God's name did I rate a Logan Paul match higher than you?
Oh, you ain't got to me yet.
Shit. Unbelievable. Bobby, there are no surprises anymore.
No, there isn't, because you're really going to be shocked on mine.
Okay.
Why is it when I sit up there and I praise somebody, it seems like literally right around the corner, they bite me in the ass?
Oh, God.
This match was terrible. When we did the live stream, I fell asleep on it.
Yeah.
This match was so boring. I would rather hear my ex-wife recite her fucking vows than to watch this fucking match.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that bad?
I mean, we were. I'm sorry.
I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Whoever was the agent on this match need to be kicked in the ass.
Wow.
And the big toe go right up the hole.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
I'm just keeping it 100. This was the worst match that I'm sorry. And I honestly don't think that it was Logan Paul, Logan Paul is going to do what they tell him. You have to understand, when you're a rookie in this situation and you're a newbie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do whatever the veteran tells you. He has that respect for the business, as you can tell from his past performances, that he's going to do what he's told. This was not Logan Paul's fault. This was Kevin Owens' fault. This was the agent's fault. Because one of them had it loaded heavy to make it a Kevin Owens style match instead of showcasing the strengths of Logan Paul. This match showed no strengths of Logan Paul whatsoever. But I will say this. It did show that he is intelligent in the wrestling game and can adapt to that type of match to make it halfway decent look good. You guys think Kevin Owens carried this match? No. Logan Paul adapted to this match to make it look good because he didn't call none of this. This was the agent and this was Kevin Owens. And they both should be buried under the fucking bricks for even producing this match on a format such as this. I would expect this on fucking SmackDown. And I would barely expect it on SmackDown. This was not a Royal Rumble sub match. This was a toilet bowl. I got the runs and forgot my Pepto-Bismol match.
Wow.
I gave this a 0.5.
Holy
And they better be glad
crap.
they got that.
Damn, I thought I was gonna be a lowest score. Wow.
I thought I was going to be the lowest score. Holy
Hell
crap.
no. That was the
I was the highest score.
I fell asleep on it on live on camera. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Hell has frozen over officially. I'm the highest Logan Paul rating on this panel.
But see, to me, it wasn't Logan Paul's fault.
Well, okay, I understand where you're coming from and that it wasn't Logan Paul's style of match. If you can, but wow, I didn't realize that you guys would hate this match so bad.
It was just
I would rather hear my ex-wife repeat something that she used to say to me a long time ago that I never want to hear again in my life than I'd rather watch this match again.
Damn. Well, I must. Mr. No Fun is losing his touch now. Holy crap! Oh,
yeah. Let's get off of this one because it's making me mad even thinking about the shit.
Yeah, let's go to the men's rumble.
Oh God, yeah. Last one of the night, men's Royal Rumble. Marcus, go first.
I mean, this was another match that I think most of us knew was going to either be Punk or Cody. Now, I think I made the prediction. What happened was I number 30, and that way Roman getting the Roman Reigns match. But again, I think this match was hurt by AJ and Orton. A night not being it kind of our power, and this match kind of formed. We didn't get the coach fight. Basically, got nothing. The surprise was Andrade, and that wasn't me at all. It was just another match that was a foregone conclusion and didn't do anything for me. It's another. I struggle to give it to.
Wow. All right. I gave this Rumble a 3. Like I was saying to my friend Jeremy, who I was watching this with at the housewarming party that he had Rumble night, The Royal Rumble is kind of like pizza and sex. Even when it's bad, it's good. But when you put it together, this match, it didn't have the energy that most Rumbles do because we were looking for debuts that didn't happen, and B, without those debuts, we pretty much knew where they were headed. Now, I thought that we were going to get an out of left field finish for this match. The fact that they didn't is kind of a double-edged sword. It gave us the logical conclusion, which I'm fine with, but it showed that this show was basically a utility show. To my mind, this Royal Rumble was a utility event. And Bobby, as you could probably tell, inform us, a utility show is done in order to right the ship. Because something has gone wrong. Either somebody hasn't shown up, or there's chaos backstage, and I think this Rumble suffered because certain plans were not able to come through. I don't think this was the ending that this Rumble was supposed to have. I think that this was supposed to have some kind of off-the-wall ending that we didn't get because of the couple of days events that preceded it. And so in order to facilitate the changes that needed to be made, they went with the most logical, direct, and obvious conclusion. And that's why we have certain situations right now that we do that we'll talk about later. But the Royal Rumble this year was a utility show. It was inoffensive. It was, but it didn't move anything. It was just there. That's the entire theme for the Rumble. It was just there. So I gave this 3.0 for the utility show.
And Marcus, what did you give it?
He gave it a 2. I gave it a 3.
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't enjoy this as much as I loved the women's.
Mm-hmm.
But I understood it. And the reason I understood it is because, yeah, we had events the last couple of days that before the Rumble that happened that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, and we'll talk about this later, if that was going to happen, another situation would happen, which I'll discuss later. It would have been easier to do that than what they're doing now. But I digress. You had the right 2 people at the end. You had the right 2 people going at it. Even though my man CM Punk was hurt his other tricep. What the hell, bro? That man's he's got the Cubs curse on him. He has the Cubs curse on him. It's like they broke, the Cubs won in like what, 2000 or whatever, and they went right to CM Punk.
2016.
Yeah, 2016 he went to CM Punk. Like, hey, we staying around Chicago. We like this city. We're gonna have to hit hits to somebody. They went straight to CM Punk. I'm sorry. I feel so bad for that dude, man. He's come back from adversity and bullshit every fucking time. And when he comes back, some shit happens to where he's hurt.
Well, nobody should ever cheer an injury ever.
Nobody, yeah.
Yeah, I do feel bad about that.
But unfortunately, you got some people that quietly are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To no name, I wish I could super kick right motherfuckers from California. We ain't gonna mention their names though. Young Bucks. Anyway. But he finished the match. I loved how they finished it. I understand why they finished it the way they did. It was perfect, in my opinion. because you have CM Punk in a position to where he could go either way. He could do anything at that point. He could turn face and help Cody out in the end, or if he wanted to, he could have just turned heel. It was a beautiful setup. It put everybody in the right positions to go further to WrestleMania, and then even a SummerSlam. Because I don't think all of this was just because of what happened. I think all of this was in plan. They just had to rearrange it. Different people are in the same positions that would have happened with somebody else in there. I'll explain that later. But scoring this is kind of hard. So I'm just going to give it a 2.5. It did halfway good. It did halfway bad.
Sex and pizza. It's the Royal Rumble.
Hey, and I do enjoy sex, and I do enjoy pizza. Both things are good to eat.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
So, tap out moment of the Rumble. Rob, I got to hear yours.
No. Marcus goes first because he invented the tap out. So
okay, go ahead.
Okay, and I think I know Rob's. I think we meet the same one, so I'm going to choose the other one, and that was Grayson Waller coming out third and cutting a promo as he was going quick for the ring. I'm gonna tell you, he's almost as annoying to me right now as Tony Storm gimmick. I mean, I don't, but coming out, I'm like, I'm thoroughly annoyed. You know, it was the second thing that I saw. But I hope Rob, what I think he's going to pick. But it was just like, dude, get your ass. I mean, Grayson Waller is thoroughly annoying to me. And I got way things I like. His little pro on the way to the ring. I tell you.
Okay. Here we are. My tap out for the Rumble in all was R-Truth.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Oh my God. Everything that guy does just drives me nuts. Just coming into the women's Rumble and doing that, and then coming into the men's Rumble and how long do we have to make R-Truth a joke? I mean, this guy is a former world champion. He has more athletic prowess than half the roster. Why does he have to get used like this? Even if it's his own idea. Somebody please just change up R-Truth's gimmick. For the love of God, please.
Okay.
Now, that was my tap. What did you guys think my tap out was going to be?
I thought it was the brass knuckles. But,
No.
That's what I thought.
No.
I was pretty sure you was going to pick R-Truth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was not happy about the ending of that match, I'll confess. I would have loved for Kevin Owens to have gotten the title, but that made sense. That was logical in the midst of that match, and it wasn't a joke. Whereas everything that R-Truth did throughout the whole night was just absolutely a joke, and it wasn't funny to me. I'm sorry, guys. Even if you think that R-Truth is funny, I just don't think it's funny because it's a waste of potential, and it's like injecting Hornswoggle into the main event. It just, no, absolutely not. Anyway, that's my tap out.
Okay. My tap out moment was obvious. It's the Logan Paul Kevin Owens
Mhm.
match. I don't even have to go any further. I think I drag it in the mud enough as it is. So let shit lay where it lays when the horses spray. That's all I got.
That's a unique way of putting it.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh.
so moment of the Rumble. Well, Robert Black, go first.
All right. My moment actually happened.
It doesn't matter what your moment is. I was kidding.
I walked right into that. Shit.
Go ahead.
No, my moment was actually at my friend Jeremy's house party while we were watching the Rumble.
Mm.
We had our betting pool on the Rumble with Motown, random numbers drawn, and Jeremy won the money. He picked number 3 and got Bailey. So his reaction to that, which I've known Jeremy a long time. He's a great guy. I went to college with him, and we did theater in Chicago together. He is one of the most animated people that you'll meet, and his reaction to winning the money, even though it was like only one of the Rumbles and it was $100, it was just heartwarming to see him so ecstatic about winning that whole thing. So that was my moment.
Marcus.
Well, I think you got a moment already. Those who have and watch this about night. So in the town pool, I had number 2 in the women's rumble, and when the 2 came out, came out. Oh my God, boy! Let's say either I didn't care. Well, I would look on this. It was so that me and her, I had her, and back, man. Let's try a happy moment. That question on a dull ass pay-per-view.
Wow. So you not only were hoping Naomi would show up, but you actually got her number.
Yeah, I had number 2 in the women's Royal Rumble.
Wow.
Came out. Let's just man.
Cool.
All right. My moment of the Rumble is kind of funny because it's Robert's tap out moment. I loved our truth. I'm sorry. I thought that was hilarious as hell.
Yeah.
He comes in there, he's like, where the guys at? I'm sorry. I do agree with Robert Black to a point.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell do they got him doing this shit? Why the hell do they have him, acting like a dumbass all the freaking time? But then when he does it and it comes off so perfect, it's like, oh my God, what the heck? I'm sorry. I love that moment.
Mm-hmm.
That had me cracking up. I couldn't stop laughing after that. I was crying. I was literally crying after that because I couldn't believe he did that.
Okay, Bobby, it may be possible, and I'm just going out on a limb here, that I am the asshole in this situation.
Hold on. Wait. We gotta do the Rock now. We gotta get one half of the audience to say you are, and then we gotta get the other half of the audience to say an asshole.
Oh God. Anyway, I mean, it's not because I've got some stick up my ass about all comedy and wrestling. I mean, there's times when it's appropriate, but when you bring out something corny in a match that is supposed to be as important as the Royal Rumble, it especially from my point of view, when I don't think that it's funny, it just doesn't work for me.
But that's the reason why I would do it. It's because it is so freaking serious. You got to break the monotony some kind of way.
There's ways of doing it that are not like stupid. There's a difference between funny and stupid. George the Animal Steel biting the piss out of a heel because he's an animal is funny. Jack Gallagher, when he screws with people in the ring, that's funny. Samoa Joe just walking away from somebody when they jump off the rope and they land on their face, that's funny. Santino Marella, not funny. You know, and it falls in that category for me.
Well, I put humor in Texas, and see, I'm just and our truth goes against a lot what I've been preaching about black wrestlers. I mean, I find myself laughing at them. I can't help it. I thought that spot was hilarious. I wish they used some more gimmick, but he's gotten it to me, gotten over. I mean, he's made it. I can't. Even I wish I didn't find it, but I mean, it works. I can't. And in that boring ass man, it was played perfectly. I thought.
Well, like I said, maybe I'm the jerk here. It's possible that I have a complex against comedy and wrestling, but then again, I just cannot find R-Truth funny in the context they put him in.
I just gotta say, it was perfectly timed. You couldn't do that. You couldn't do that unless it worked unless it was perfectly timed.
Yeah.
And with him and Adam Pearce, I mean, especially Adam Pearce coming out there looking all serious, like, "What are you doing, you freaking idiot?" And he's like, "Where the guys at?"
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, "Come on, man." I mean, I thought I at first did think that you would have laughed at that part, but then I was like, "No, he's gonna hate it. He's gonna hate it." And sure enough, you hate it.
Well, it's not like I was trying to hate it. And they weren't trying to fuck up the Rumble, which, like I said, is a difficult thing to do. Like you have to be trying very, very hard to screw up the Royal Rumble, like 1999. To me, that was the most terrible Royal Rumble that has ever been booked ever, when the owner of the company books himself in the match and like sits out 3/4 of it in order to further a storyline. That was like the most idiotic Rumble ever conceived.
But Rob, I got something for you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. Is this a clip?
Yes. Which isn't working too well.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Oh, well. It was an idea.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I get a feeling you were going to play something, but that's okay. We'll figure it out later. Anyway,
Yeah.
I've got my own picadillos about comedy and wrestling, and people will just have to forgive me for being Mr. No Fun.
Hey, we still love you, Rob.
Well, thank you.
But this side of the crowd is going to say you. No, just kidding.
Shit.
On to our next one. It's a segment called Cap or No Cap. Cap means that this is a line-ass statement. No cap means that it's going to be the truth. Not our truth, but it's going to be the truth.
Okay.
First one, and I really want us to think about this. We kind of discussed it a little bit, but I want to go more in depth. Brian Alvarez. Please, just a side note here. Whatever he was drinking or smoking when he made this statement, please do not pass it to me.
Mm.
I don't think it should be for any human consumption because it makes you stupid. Okay. But Brian Alvarez said that every woman in the Women's Royal Rumble outclassed Jade Cargill. Is that cap, which is a lie, or no cap, which is the truth? Marcus.
That is a big ass. CAP 5 exclamation points. I mean, you are Peru, Mulholland, fucking I don't remember who else was in. I think if, other than Jay, I thought they played the perfect and played to her strength. I'm not sure who was watching, so big cap right there.
Rob.
I have to agree. Alvarez is just popping off because Jade didn't like have a diesel run and throw out 10 or 12 or half of the damn rumble the second that she got in there. And you don't need to do that to have an impressive rumble showing. I can't remember all of the people that Jade eliminated. I think it was 3 or 4. I can't remember all of them, but she had a decent run of eliminations, and she had 2 face-offs, one with Bianca, and I think one with Nia Jax. So, I mean, what more do you want? It's not like she wasn't going to win the match, number one. Number two, she wasn't out there to make anybody look bad, just to make herself look good. And I think that she accomplished that just fine. In the context of the match itself, since the ending was something that we pretty much anticipated, there wasn't really any way to make her look like King Kong, nor would you want to. And like I said, even if they did, Alvarez and people like him would have complained about that. So you're damned if you do and damned if you don't in Jade's case. So I think that the way they booked her in the Rumble was the way that they should have, and she had at least 2 good moments in the match that elevated her status now that she's finally debuted in the ring, which I think they took too long to do. They should have done that before this so that there was more anticipation coming to Jade's debut in the Rumble that they didn't exploit well enough. But overall, her performance in the Rumble was fine. It was great. There was no need to turn it into some kind of ridiculous measuring stick or litmus test for her future in the company.
That's true. That's true. That's
Mhm.
why I also say it's cap. But I think it's cap for a different reason.
Mm.
I think Brian Alvarez tried to flirt with Jade Cargill and she turned him down. I think he tried to hit on her and Jay looked at him like, little boy, you are nowhere near the man that could even handle one of my nails, let alone me. Plus, I got a husband and I got a daughter. What you gonna do about that? Jade Cargill did a wonderful job. Brian Alvarez ain't always the case. Brian Alvarez is capped on this one, like a tube of toothpaste.
Okay.
And another disclaimer, I'll put it out there again to keep because we want to keep our fans safe. Whatever Brian Alvarez was drinking or smoking during the utterance of that statement, please do not take what he was drinking or smoking. We want you to be safe and we want you to keep your mind. Don't ever follow Mr. Alvarez.
If you must partake in certain things, please make sure that they are not tainted by something that will harm you.
Like his opinion, or his thoughts, or his reasoning, or his mental state. Period. Because that was that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, everybody gets a bad hot take now and then. It's just some
This
of
is
us
his
do.
30th.
Yeah.
Well, some of us get more than a few.
Normally, everybody got a pick. He was just sorry, he was just wrong.
Yeah.
This is like saying I'm going to go to a KK meeting for dinner. I mean, this was just ridiculous.
Why would you do that for dinner?
Why would he say that?
I don't know. Maybe he had a bad clam. Every once in a while, you get a bad clam.
I was married to one of those. Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus, the Surf and Turf edition.
Oh, God,
I'd give myself another one, but it's too late now.
Oh, cap or no cap? The women's Royal Rumble was better than the men's Royal Rumble. Rob.
No cap. Absolutely true. The women's Rumble, first of all, we were not expecting as many surprises as we were for the men's Rumble. We were expecting like 3 or 4 big surprise entrances that didn't happen. The women's Rumble was a little bit more rounded in terms of how the entrances were spaced out and who drew what number. I think the women's Rumble did that a lot better, and it was, I don't know, it just set a better tone for the night than the night actually delivered. So yeah, no cap. That's a true statement. The women's Rumble was better than the men's again.
Marcus.
Well, like I already said, that's definitely no cap. I think the Rumble did what it was supposed to do. I mean, and then wasn't a surprise. Wasn't no surprise in my opinion. We got the surprise. I think they did with getting Jay. So I mean, I think everything that the Rumble was supposed to do, in my opinion, better than the me. No cap.
My opinion, of course, no cap. That one was on the Rumble was wonderful. All the girls stepped up. It was a match of the night for me. I mean, that's all I gotta say. It was a match of the night. So that's all. That throws that out the way.
Right.
So now we're gonna get into a couple of more heavier subjects. I can't wait to see Rob's face on this question.
Oh God.
If the WWE TNA partnership keeps going, will TNA take the number 2 spot over AEW in the wrestling world? Oh yeah, I got some questions for y'all. Rob.
All right, I've got to go cap on this because TNA is now owned by Endeavor. So as much attention as TNA wrestling is going to get because of that, it is only because they are now owned by the same company WWE is. And the crossovers that they're going to have in terms of that, to me, TNA is now just another WWE brand on par with NXT, because Naomi is still appearing on Impact.
True.
And it's this basically she could have the same contract with both companies through Endeavor and still make the same money from either one. So to me, it's a misnomer as far as a question, because TNA really isn't its own entity anymore. They're gonna. I'm pretty sure they're going to have an invasion angle, but it's going to be TNA versus NXT. And as exciting as that sounds on paper, it's really not going to matter or amount to very much except for the in-ring competition. I'm looking forward to the matches that could happen in that invasion angle, but in the end, TNA is now part of the WWE universe, and there's no way of getting around that. They are no longer their own entity because they're owned by Endeavor. So I got to go Cap on this one.
I'm actually going to say no cap. And this is the reason why. It's for the very reason you said that, again, it's like your reason is my reason for it. It is because they are partnered in Endeavor. They are. I don't look at them as a WWE second because the philosophy is a little different when it comes to the business and wrestling practices. You know, NXT has the same philosophy to a point. TNA doesn't have that. So I do consider them a separate company, even though they're under the same corporate umbrella. It's like having Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks under the same corporate umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Two different coffees, but they're still coffee, but it's two different coffees, two different ways of making it, two different styles of presenting it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. My thing is, TNA really got their shit together. They treat their employees like employees, and it goes back to what I was saying when we was going through all of the CM Punk fiascos and stuff like that, and I was speaking out strongly, I might add, against the treatment of CM Punk and everything. And I'm gonna say it again. A lot of people thought I was just a CM Punk fan, which I am a CM Punk fan. Don't get me wrong. But it had nothing to do with that. It has to deal with how you treat your people that's in your organization, how you fulfill them, how you bump them up. I'm sorry, AEW has fumbled the ball on so many superstars that could have jetted them into that stratosphere that they could not be touched as number two. And possibly, honestly, they could have gave them a run for their money at WWE, a run for their money at the number one spot. But they fumbled the ball like their name was Rashawn Salam off the old Bears. It was ridiculous. Perfect example, Wardlow. How do you fuck that up? That's a gift that was sent to you on a silver platter in bubble wrap with FedEx on a delicate plane ride. How could you fuck that up? You have Dante Martin, the very core of what AEW was supposed to be about. Young, lightweight, flying all around, showing a different style of wrestling. And you try to keep him in either the tag team division or when he did have a chance to do a singles breakout and he was hotter than fucking fire, you douse cold water on him. And these are guys that are not WWE guys. These are guys that had nothing to do with WWE. So you can't say, well, they were WWE light. No, these were your own guys. And you fumbled them. I mean, we can go down the list. Serena Deeb fucked up her. She should have been champion a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we could go down the list of people that they fucked up because the Young Bucks wanted to be on some bullshit. Straight up. You know, I don't even blame Kenny Omega at this point. I don't even think Kenny Omega was probably involved in it. This was specifically the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, because guess why? The philosophy that they live by is they can't get over unless they are in charge. Think about this. Everywhere they have been and had success, besides Japan, one place. They have been in charge in some kind of way. PWG in charge. Other places in charge. When they weren't in charge, they got kicked the fuck to the curb. Remember they went to TNA for that little stint? Young Bucks? Look what happened. They got booted the fuck out.
Well, Ring of Honor they had, but I'm not sure whether they had pull or not.
Guess what? Who was running Ring of Honor? Wasn't Bandito? Ring of Honor?
I am not sure. Silken at one point was running, and Sinclair was in charge of it before. When they did the first All In, which Ring of Honor was part of, ROH was still run by Sinclair. They hadn't been bought by Tony Khan yet.
Okay, but my thing is this: Sinclair might own it, but who's deep down in the grassroots making the matches?
Well, for that particular event, it was Cody and the Bucks because they bought the arena.
No, I got that. But what I'm saying is, when Ring of Honor was going, after Cornette left, Bandito was in charge.
Okay.
Bandito is friends with the Bucks. Same thing. He's friends with Tony Khan, and he's getting over when they shouldn't have. When they should have lost to FTR eons ago.
Mm-hmm.
They can't survive on top unless they are in charge. That's what makes me mad. And that's why I look at this, and when I look at TNA coming up, their women's division is second to none. Their women's division is on point. The men's division, they could use some work, but they can get out of that with the men's division, I think.
Well, Bobby, I think there's a lot of changes coming to everything right now, but for now I'll table that and let Marcus respond.
Okay, I say that's definitely cap, because I mean TNA is on Access, okay, whereas AEW is on the Turner Network. TNA would be ecstatic to get an average 800,000+ viewers a week. They're a long way from. I don't know what the ratings are, but I don't think they're anywhere close. And if you're telling me, and I watch TNA off and on, and if you see that the strength of TNA is division, then no, no women's division will ever make people come watch your show to the point where they're number two. If you're telling me that that's the strength over the meat, it's just not going to happen. You know, my baby was down there, but you see, she ain't do a whole lot for TNA's growth. I mean, it's just a fact. A women's division isn't going to grow a company to the point where it becomes number two. They can get Charlotte. They could bring in Tessa Blanchard. They could bring in whoever they want. It's never going to grow the company to be number two.
Wow.
No women's division is ever going to do that. And
hold on, wait. Let me throw some stats at you, okay?
No.
TNA did an average of 105,000 more viewers. Now, it sounds small because we used to talk about millions when it comes to CM Punk or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But 105,000 more viewers when Naomi was on there.
Yeah, it grew, but what's the overall rating? What's the overall rating?
Yeah, because the whole program ain't shit.
Oh boy!
As long as they're on X, they're never going to do AEW.
No, I get what you're saying on that one, because they're on a bigger network. They're going to get more exposure, more people to watch them. I understand that, but my thing is, with this exposure that they're getting with WWE, they're going to get those people on them eyes. Jordan Grace alone has got people watching TNA.
But here's my thing: WWE is not going. I would be shocked if they sent anybody down there that change the channel. They're not sending there.
They're talking about Bianca going.
Really, that's my point. No. That Bianca is not going to make their number two company. No, absolutely not. They're not going to send LA Knight. They're not going to send guys to make us. Oh, I think I want to go watch TNA. I mean, TNA sends up who? Dolph Ziggler. Okay, they already get rid of him. And what's his name? The Arab guy. Oh God, I can't remember his name. The guy from the hometown hero of Chicago. That bullshit. What was his name?
Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, right. Okay, they make him a big deal. Okay, WWE kicking them out already. TNA doesn't have anybody to send up on an angle that we care about seeing. But Bubba Ray, no. So I mean, it's just unless WWE gonna send some of their top talent down there to make us want to tune in to 2NA already, they're going to stay at best number 3, and that's the best. They may get some more. They may get some more viewers. Yes, like my baby did for them. But to answer your question, no, they will not be number 2. No, they absolutely will not.
I don't know. I think I see what you're saying, but I think it's gonna have a reverse effect. I've heard plans of Bianca going down there, and I think Bianca's gonna be the experiment. But Bianca does well wherever she goes. I think I really wish they would take somebody that would take a test on the system instead of sending somebody like Bianca. Even though Bianca's a wonderful talent, I'm not saying she's garbage at all. Far from that. You know, I just think it's a given when she goes is going to be successful. You see what I'm saying?
Now I
want somebody to really test that system. Like I would. Perfect example of who I would put down there that I think that would hang with them girls and would clown and would test the system. But she hasn't been on the main roster, and that probably might have been be the downfall in this. But Tiffany Stratton.
Well, see, I think that you're on to something good here, Bobby, with the talent exchange. And I think that actually will boost TNA's numbers. But in this particular instance, I don't think it would be enough because AEW is making some moves too. They got Joe on top. They still have their co-op with New Japan that they're exploiting to the max. That's going to bring some people in. You've got Okada coming, which is going to bring a big Japan presence. They're going to start watching. You've got Mercedes Moné coming in. That's all but been confirmed. And AEW is not like static, and I think that they're actually moving away from the Bucks and their horse shit. So I hope so too. Now, if I'm wrong, then like forgive me because there's a lot of nepotism in wrestling, and we're seeing some of that in other areas. But
yeah.
But be that as it may, I think TNA is going to like raise their worth. But I think AEW is going to step up their game too, and we're going to see a lot of changes in the next 3 to 6 months. A lot of.
Let me ask a quick side question here because you did mention something that's curious that I'm curious about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think Okada is going to make that big of a difference? I don't think he is. I honestly don't think he is. I don't think Japan is going to tune into an American station and watch Okada. I just don't see it. Might be wrong. I might be wrong here.
No. It's a growing market. It's not going to like do the kind of numbers that say Bianca or LA Knight defecting to AEW would do. Okay, it's not going to draw that numbers, but Japanese fans are very loyal and they're very stylistically inclined. And New Japan has been steadily getting themselves into the U.S. market through their Strong Dojo out in California, which right now is part of the Triple Crown with your favorite guy, Eddie Kingston. So in the end, Okada is going to steadily raise that rent, and if American audiences catch on to him the same way they did with Nakamura, it could make a little bit more of a difference, especially if they take it in a direction that organizes the company more, which I think is going to happen because Joe is not playing. I think he wants to be the ringleader and marquee of that entire company, and it's about goddamn time. Because TNA should have done that with him a decade and a half ago, but they didn't, and
I
now
agree.
he's getting it.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. Now we're gonna get into a real sensitive subject. And I don't care because I think it needs to be said, and I think this opinion really needs to be out there for people to hear. So, guys, if you're sensitive to certain subjects, just like they said on that one Team Beer Money, sorry about your damn luck. Now, this is a cap or no cap, a serious no cap or no question I want to ask.
All right.
The young lady that is involved in the McMahon case, is she 100% innocent in this whole debacle? Yeah, I went there. I went there. It's deep. And I think it needs to be asked.
Well, who do you want to hit it first? You want me to do it?
Go ahead, Rob.
Okay, God help us all. Cap. She is not 100% innocent. That doesn't mean that she wasn't exploited, and that doesn't mean that Vince McMahon is not a perverted and deranged individual if these allegations are true. Keep in mind that the affidavit that we have all read by now is only the prosecution's half of this lawsuit. And the federal investigation is pending, which is something that has also come out. The feds are all over this now. Because it involves trafficking, and those are very serious charges. However, we have not heard from Vince other than she's lying, we're going to court, and for the sake of everyone's sanity, I'm quitting. That's the only side of this story that we have gotten from Vince McMahon. So I am doing my level best to withhold my judgment against whether he's innocent or guilty until we hear the actual trial and all the evidence, and you know, innocent until proven guilty, just like the Constitution says. However, if these charges are true, or even if half of them are true, then Vince McMahon is in a hell of a lot of trouble, and he deserves to be. And let's just look at the silver lining that Vince McMahon is out of the wrestling business for real this time. I don't see any way that he gets back into it after this. I think that he's finally been forced out. And because of that, we are finally going to see the changes in the industry that we have all wanted to see. And the purge of Vince loyalists within the WWE that I believe should have happened a year ago, and that I've been harping on ever since. And to everybody's credit on the panel, what I've been arguing for the last year is now a moot point. Because I said I wanted Vince gone, and all of his influence flushed out of WWE, and that is happening now, or at least it could be in the long term. Well, there's more to it to that, but by and large, I say Cap, because this lady could have blown the whistle while she was still an employee. She could have refused to sign the NDA. She could have gone to HR, or she could have gone to somebody outside of that company, and she could have said something if she was being abused and trafficked against her will. I'm not saying that's an easy thing to do by any means, but the fact that she did this after Vince McMahon cobbled together several $1 billion and several hundreds of millions for himself in stock sales, and because of the merger after the fact, it does raise a red flag. So is she innocent? Hell no. Is she a victim? Maybe. And it's quite possible. Let's find out.
Marcus.
I say Cap as well. Now, again, I agree with Rob. We haven't heard Vince's side yet. Okay. I mean, the picture that this woman painted looks very bad. And now, I don't know what type of mental health issues she may have had, or may not. We don't know. But just hearing some of this stuff, like making the piss video, or letting herself be shit on. Okay. Now, to me, I asked the question, who makes you make a piss video if you don't want to do it?
R. Kelly. I'm sorry, guys, but thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. I'm sorry, but that was just an open invitation, and I had to take it.
Okay.
Sorry, Marcus. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. But anyway, some of that stuff, I gotta ask a question. If you didn't want to do it, how did you make you do it? Now, I know there's a lot of mental health experts that'll say he mind fucked and all that. Maybe that's what happened. Okay. Why did she choose to go into work every day? I have to ask the question. And one of the big questions that I ask is, if it's true that Vince promised her $3 million and he reneged on $2 million of that, if that is true, then I ask the question, okay, you're not going to pay me my $2 million. I'm going to expose your ass and get a whole lot more money. Now, again, I don't know if that happened or not, but that just makes me wonder, because if I'm Vince's lawyer, I'm certainly playing that card, just to cause reasonable doubt in all of this. So I don't know. Until more comes out, I say Cap like a mug.
Oh boy, here we go. People gonna probably hate. There's gonna be a string of females that are gonna hate me after I say this, and I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say it's Cap all the way. Do I think some of these events happen? Yes, I do. 100%, no doubt. I am not doubting her account of what happened. I read that document. I was the first one to get the document. I looked it over. I read it page by page 4 freaking times.
Wow, I only read it once. I was too afraid to go back.
The reason I wanted to go back is because I wanted to get the clarification law-wise of what could happen and happen before I discussed it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wasn't like all these other idiots that jumped on it as soon as it came out. Oh, I'm the first one to tell you that guess what? Vince McMahon was sitting up there and shitting on the girl's head. Oh my God.
Oy.
Honestly, if we really think about certain promos and things he was doing back, especially in the Attitude era, he was telling us he was doing this shit.
Yeah.
So these news breaking moments ain't nothing new.
Vince McMahon's booking makes a lot more sense after you read that affidavit. That is accurate.
That man was into some stuff then.
Mm-hmm.
And he is showing that he is still into it in his 70s. He's a connoisseur of the shitting.
Oh. He's a turd gourmet.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. That was disgusting. I apologize.
But my thing is, this girl, I take Marcus's side on this part because I do know some females personally that have been done wrong, that have been treated like crap, and for some reason they stay. And it confuses the hell out of me because it's like, you don't like it, but you're there.
Yep.
You are a woman. It's not like a dude is having this happen to him, because dudes don't have shit. They laugh at a dude, something like this happens. You have so many programs, so many outlets that are known. It's not like it's a secret society. You turn on your TV for 5 minutes, 3 of these organizations is going across your commercial screen real quick. And you do nothing about it? When you have the full arm, shoulders, hand, fingers, fingernails, fingertips, elbow of the law that will get the dudes behind, just a rich dudes behind, just because of an accusation? Something up with that, man. I'm sorry.
Well, Bobby, I don't know if you have heard this, but John Laurinaitis is now saying that he was Vince's victim as well.
Oh yeah,
he's trying to put himself on the same level as this girl.
I'm gonna get to Mr. L in a second.
Okay, go ahead.
My thing is, and ladies, please do not get offended when I say this. I'm saying this wholeheartedly. I'm saying this more like a dad than I am anything else. If you are in a position where a guy is treating you like this or treating you the wrong way, not that he ain't giving you $400 to get your hair done. Screw that. Not that he ain't going to take you to get your nails done. Screw that. But if this dude is actually trafficking you to have sex with other dudes against your will, against your will, because we know they get some of you females that are freaky, but, against your will, that you don't approve of, and you're just doing it because he's saying it to try to keep the peace, keep a job, keep a house over your head, things of that nature. If you don't like it, you need to report it. If you don't like it, you need to go to the police. If you don't like it, you need to go to a shelter. Stay there for a while. And so this guy can get out of your life. Mm-hmm. It ain't no amount of money is worth your soul. Mm-hmm. No amount of money is worth your self-respect. $1 Million Man used to make a joke and say everybody has a price. Nah, man. There are certain things I wish a mug would try to come up to me and ask me to do. I would be in jail for whooping their ass. So, ladies, 100%, I believe this is cap. You want to boycott and get mad at me? Go get your size. I'll make them for you. But I got to be 100% honest in this situation. Is he wrong? Yes, he is definitely wrong. 100%. There's not an excuse for what McMahon has done. And I'm not going to say allegedly. This is too descriptive right here. This is too fine-tuned in this affidavit to say maybe he did this. This mug went and did this. I'm just going to keep it 100. He did it. But it does not give an excuse to where she did not do, what do Republicans say? self-accommodation. What do they call that?
Self-sufficiency.
Self-sufficiency would be a word for it, but they call it something else. It's like self-responsibility. You do not take self-responsibility and report that crime. You do not take self-responsibility of getting yourself out of that situation as soon as you see it getting out of hand of stuff you don't like. You have to take that responsibility as well. It's not all on the dude then. Both of you share the responsibility. He shares it more than you do. Okay, I will give it that. But you have some fault as well as sticking around and dealing with this shit. So no, I don't feel bad for old girl. I think she's actually for money. I think when they didn't pay that $3 million, she's like, oh, well, what am I gonna do? I can't live this lavish lifestyle. Oh, if I go back at him, I could probably get 10 to 12. That other girl got 12. Why can't I get 12 million?
Bottom line, man or woman, if you are being abused sexually or emotionally or mentally, then Bobby's right. No amount of money is worth doing that or subjecting yourself to that if you've got a way out. And if you find a way out, take it. If you are in an abusive relationship, no matter who you are, it is not worth it to stay in that relationship for financial stability. Report the crime, get out of that any way that you possibly can, and keep who you are. Bottom line.
But playing complete devil's advocate, like I'm Vince McMahon's lawyer, how do we know she wasn't into this? I mean, let's be honest. There's some freaky people in the world. Maybe she liked, twosomes, or, being defecated on. I mean, I'm just saying, we right now we don't know. Maybe she liked making those big, maybe all the stuff that Vince was giving her was worth the price. Get those blue gift cards and the BMW and all that. Maybe that was worth it. Maybe it wasn't abuse. I mean, I'm just saying, we are assuming that because that's a picture she painted, allegedly. But right now, we don't know. We really just don't know right now.
Yep, that's very true.
Can I say this? It was one text. It was a couple of text messages in the affidavit to where she's responded to him. And the way she's wording it is like one of those things to where she's trying to say no, but she's trying to do it in a polite way not to piss somebody off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was trying to have it both ways. She was trying to back him off without refusing.
So it was that's why I'm more on the side of I think it was abuse, is because of those text messages of her responding.
Okay, yeah. I haven't text messages. So I've seen that. Like I said, I only know the bits and pieces I've heard. So if that's the case, then okay, that's the case.
Yeah. Okay,
that's why I wanted. That's why instead of talking about this when it first came out, that's why I waited till now. It's because I wanted to read on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
yeah, Marcus does have a point in that we really don't know. She could be playing. It could have started out. At the very least, it could have started out as just a consensual relationship that got really freaky, and she went along with it for the money, in which case she is 100% on board with this and is just trying to get a payoff out of it. We don't know for sure. And Marcus has a point in that is possible, but all of this has got to be played out in a court of law.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, and as disgusting as it is, we cannot absolutely cannot automatically assume that Vince is guilty. At least not 100% guilty. He's guilty of having weird ass sex, but whether it's a crime, we just cannot say yet.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. And this is a tough situation because this could really break the landscape of pro wrestling.
I think it already has.
I don't know. I don't think we've even touched the surface yet.
Yeah.
I think it's about to blow up even bigger than this. If it's more solid stuff, and see, that's the other part that makes me. Speaking of John Laurinaitis, that's the other part that makes me believe that Vince was doing it and it was abusive. Why would Laurinaitis come out and say something like that unless it was happening?
To save his own ass.
Yeah,
if he was an active participant in a crime, then he's going to throw Vince under the bus because that's the most convenient thing.
But my thing is, if there's no crime, you have nothing to throw somebody under the bus for.
That's true, but then again, John Laurinaitis is the kind of guy that would wash his own hands even if they were clean.
I get you, but it still doesn't make sense why he would make the statement like that. Try to look like a victim himself if McMahon wasn't doing these things.
That is a good point.
You know, that's why I keep coming to this conclusion that McMahon did this shit. He did this shit. I'm not giving him a pass. I don't give a fuck what he created, what he gave. I don't care. He had Hulk Hogan come through. I don't give a fuck he had Jake the Snake. I don't give a fuck about WrestleMania. I don't give a fuck about his deal with Peacock or the $9 million he just got from the fucking deal that he did with the fucking Endeavor. I could give a shit less. The fact of the matter is, when you lay it down and you look at what Laurinaitis is saying, you look at these text messages that this girl has produced, this motherfucker did this shit, man. And I am not pleased because I think if my daughters wanted to get into wrestling, if Kiara, my oldest, who would fit the wrestling mold like a motherfucker, 6'1", you know what I'm saying? Pretty face. The girl can talk trash better, almost better than me. Almost. You ain't there yet. Almost. But the girl is gift the gab. What if she went to the WWE?
Yeah.
I'd be on the news.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And Ari Emanuel probably feels the same way because his daughter worked for WWE for years.
There you go.
For me, I don't think I agree. I think he did it. My question is, how much did this woman play? How much was she into it? And did it go from, consensual to like, whoa, wait a minute, or is this just a thing of blackmail? Oh, you ain't gonna pay me, so I'm gonna get you. Or is it a thing where Vince manipulated her, and controlled her mentally and abused her? I mean, I think that's the question more so to whether he did it or not.
Yeah, what I'm worried about is how deep this goes, because this is only one NDA, and Vince apparently signed all of these non-disclosure agreements without WWE's knowledge, which means that they could all not be legitimate, which means that every single one of them could end up in court. And and Bobby's right. This could go into a really deep, dark hole with like dozens of people involved.
Now hold on. Let me put a cap on that one though. Not like this thing, but let me put a thing here.
Yeah.
Anything before what was that? Where they went public, 1999, 2000, somewhere around there. Where they went public?
It's like 2003 that they
okay.
Went maybe.
Anything before 2003, he can't get in trouble for. It's a private company.
Right.
It's his own money. So no, wait a minute. Hold on.
But how many
Look
times?
who's here.
Hey!
What's up, guys?
What's up, man? How's St. Louis?
Oh man, just got done eating some barbecue. Good eating.
Well, I'm glad I'm not in the same room with you right now because you about to
Not
blow
quite as good
that.
as Manny Rose eating, but it's pretty good.
Hey, now you just broke up a very gloomy subject, so I am damn glad to see Motown today.
Hey, I've been married twice, so that's what I do.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, with Tony here, I'm gonna have Tony answer this question right quick.
Okay.
We're on the cap or no cap segment, and I dropped a real deep one on him.
Okay.
The young lady that's reported in the Vince McMahon scandal, she is 100% innocent, cap or no cap.
Oh fuck, she ain't 100% innocent. Whatever the fall says, there's no way that bitch is 100% innocent.
Damn,
that makes it unanimous.
Damn, I thought I was gonna be the harshest one to say she ain't innocent. He just come on, hell no, she ain't innocent.
She didn't know the extent that Vince was going to go through. She realized she was in some shit. Literally. During that threesome.
That was crappy. Anyway.
Thank you for joining us on FTW. That's 2, and Motown has only been here like less than a minute.
I mean,
that's
God.
The first 2?
No, we're up to 8.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
you gotta have your word there for a second. Can't leave y'all alone for a sec.
No, it depends.
We didn't get clean while you were away. No.
Yeah, the shit was about to go down, but we depended, so it was all.
Thank you for joining us. Oh my God.
No, but with that situation, she's not 100% innocent. Nobody's innocent in this whole thing. I think everybody got their own agenda. We know what Vince is. Here's the one thing with Vince. We know what Vince's agenda is. Vince is a straight up freak that loves to abuse his power. She saw this man and this money and this power and everything. She kind of went along for a while. Then the shit went south. I think the shit went south on her ass in a hurry.
Yeah. Because my biggest thing is, and if this is true, when they first met, okay, they met in they lived in the same building, and they met in Vince's penthouse, and he was in his underwear. Now, I mean, if that's true, okay, and you stayed, what does that tell you?
She wants the knob.
I mean, seriously. Either you stay, you know what's going on, or you haul ass out of there. All right. I mean, seriously. So that's why my opinion, until I hear differently, I really gotta wonder if this is like vindictive bitch syndrome of, okay, you owe me $2 million. I'm gonna get it one way or the other.
I think here's what I think of myself was that threesome. Like I was really like a lot of this. I wasn't against Vince until I read that part.
It got shitty real quick.
It got real shitty real quick. This motherfucker gonna pull his pants down, shit on this woman's head, while the other dude keeps screwing her. And I'll be honest with you. There's something wrong with the other dude in that.
Exactly. Yes.
The other dude was Laurinaitis.
And there's something wrong with Laurinaitis.
Yeah, really.
How can you keep fucking a bitch after you seen Vince McMahon 70-year-old ass shit on her? And I point the 70-year-old part out because this ain't 90s Vince. This ain't ripped Vince. This is old man Vince. This ain't the Vince that Sable was fucking with back in the 90s.
Speaking of which, we might get an NDA out of her because, like I just said a minute ago, all of these NDAs that were signed may be invalid up until the 2003, which when it became a publicly traded company. Before that, they are, but after that, they're not.
And you got to factor in a pissed off woman as well, Rob. If her name's on an NDA for shit that Vince forced her to do, and now all of a sudden her husband was doing shit with that same man 20 years later, oh, that shit coming out.
Wait, hold on. He ain't got to worry about just the wife. He got twin daughters he got to deal with too. And Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's an ass open he can't take.
Oh boy. Well.
Yeah, Lauren Knight's fucked up.
Yeah, we'll see.
Literally.
We'll see him on the corner somewhere.
Thank you for joining us on FTW.
I'm just saying.
Another drink after that.
He had a shitty job. He did it.
Oh God! I've hit that 3 times already. Forget it.
That's what Lord Knight said.
Thank you for joining us on FTW. Oh my God!
It was surprising Vince didn't hit Lauren Knight a few times.
You know what? It was a threesome, so God help us with that imagery. But God, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. Oh, it's Sunday, gentlemen. Oh. Anyways, let's move on because my
God.
we
got one more subject here.
Yeah, we got one more.
I figured we were going to overtime, so I ain't too worried about it.
Okay.
We got till 6:30 to discuss this. Now, we all seen the events of what happened on Friday Night SmackDown. And this is where Cody Rhodes basically gave up his spot for The Rock for The Rock to face Roman Reigns. I really want to know. We'll start off with Tony since he just got on. What factors do you think happened for this to take place? Tony, go ahead.
From what I read, it was a change of plan with CM Punk. But to me, that doesn't add up. Like Rock, Roman, they've been hitting. Punk was healthy when Rock was talking about sitting at the head of the table. Like this shit's been brewing for a while. I'm not sure if maybe Rock and Roman was pushing for it, and the powers that be behind them didn't want it, and they took advantage of the CM Punk injury to pull the trigger on it. I don't know what led to it. Am I happy about it? Absolutely. You guys know I've been saying I don't want a rematch of Cody Roman at WrestleMania. We've been waiting years for Rock Roman. That's what the match I wanted to see. But that bull crap we saw on SmackDown, where you not only shitted on Cody, you shitted on Seth Rollins' title, and they shitted on everything they could possibly shit on.
I don't know. We gotta ask Vince McMahon on that one.
I'm not even. No.
The fans of John Laurinaitis in this threesome between these individuals.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Oh my God. And Tony comes in and he changes the tempo. Tony, oh my God. And he changes the song. Looking at me like he thinks I'm a moron. And I'm not really sure that he's wrong. Okay, never mind.
But didn't Laurinaitis shit in our head? Oh, sorry.
Oh God.
Oh my God, help me.
But I'm cool with the decision. There could have been some politicking going on to lead to the decision. The execution was god awful. God awful. We know shit like this happens all the time. I mean, this shit's been happening for years, brother. But at least when Vince was in charge, it wasn't, when they made the decision, it wasn't this obviously poorly executed. You can say what you want with Vince. When he changes his mind about something, he'll convince you that that's been the plan all along and not make it so obvious. Cody Rhodes looked like a bitch on Friday. Straight. bitch on Friday. Oh, I'm going to finish my story. I'm going to do it later, though. I'm not going to do it at WrestleMania. The fuck? You sound like a goddamn idiot. I know I'm not haven't wrestled before, though, but as long as I've been watching wrestling, everybody's dream is the main event WrestleMania that's in the business. That is the ultimate. And you're going to sit there on national TV in front of everybody and give up that spot and say, you'll fight him some other time. What? At Backlash? Come on now. And I'm going to wrestle for the Seth Rollins. I'm going to challenge him after Roman pulled his pants down and shitted on that title, the loser bracket title. He beat everybody that competed for that shit. That's the loser bracket title. Anybody who can't beat Roman Reigns for the title, that's what they go after. And the sad part about it is a lot of what Roman Reigns said about that title is absolutely true, but damn it, you didn't need to go out there and shit on the title 2 months before WrestleMania, 2 months before Cody Rhodes going to give him his spot to face you and going to go after that title. It was sad. SmackDown, that was just sad.
All right, Marcus.
Well, I have to disagree with Tony a little bit. I think that I agree with him. Cody looked stupid as hell, but I think it was planned. I think this was planned for a long time. I think what struck me is Cody kept saying, "I want everything." Okay, and the fact that Roman intentionally shitted on Seth's title makes me think that this is all scripted. What I think is going to happen is Cody is going to unify all those belts at SummerSlam. Is what I'm thinking is going to happen. He's going to beat Seth and get that title, and he's going to beat Roman at SummerSlam and unify the title. Is what I think is going to happen. WWE does a lot by accident. They don't shit on themselves. They don't shit on their stars by accident. I think this is all scripted. I just think it came across poorly, but I really think that's the overall plan, is to unify those titles and go back to Cody being a world champion and wrestling on Raw and SmackDown, because his body can hold up more than Roman can. Is what I think is going to happen, especially with this Netflix deal. I think that they're going to have their world champion wrestle a whole lot more than what Roman does. So I think all that was planned and intentional, and it leads to Cody unifying the titles at SummerSlam.
Rob.
Gentlemen, I have made no secret whatsoever that I do not really want Rock Roman, and that I don't care about Cody's story. Whatever happens with Cody, he's made his bed. I also don't think that they are going to make him the marquee and have him unify the titles at SummerSlam. If that does happen, then I will gladly say that I was wrong. You guys caught on to the fact, and I have been saying this all along, that Rock versus Roman was the match that they wanted. Come hell or high water, that was the match we were going to get. And I don't think that the plan was changed at all because of the Punk injury. I don't think that Punk was going to be in the mix at all whatsoever. They were going to put him with McIntyre. That was going to be the whole plan the whole way round. What I think happened is that somebody knew that all of this shit with Vince was going to come out on the day that it came out. And Rock was named to the TKO board not even 24 hours before the proverbial shit hit the fan. He was on that board before everything came out with Vince, and once Vince resigned, The Rock outranked Triple H and Nick Khan right then and there. So either Vince asked this favor of Dwayne Johnson to get onto the board in his stead, or Ari Emanuel saw the writing on the wall and put Rock on that board before Vince had a chance to be humiliated and thrown out. That being said, the company has a chance to turn the corner here. The absolute disdain and pissed offedness that happened after the SmackDown thing, to where everybody feels cheated that they're not getting Cody versus Roman, that they basically flushed a year worth of storyline down the toilet because Rock wanted to get in there. I would think that this is the litmus test for whether we are really going to get the change we wanted. If we get the change we wanted, then they're going to change the match, they're going to change the booking, and we're going to end up getting a completely different picture. And they're going to say they're either going to make Rock Roman without the title, or they're going to change the whole card. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to try to have their cake and eat it too. Rock is going to win the title at... Okay, let me backtrack on that. They're going to change the match to where somehow Rock wins Elimination Chamber, and they're going to like make a three-way between Rock, Cody, and Reigns at WrestleMania so that everybody is happy. Or they'll have some kind of gauntlet match. Either way, I am not confident at all that WWE Creative are not going to screw this up like everything else. So I'm conspiracy minded here. I don't think that anything else but Rock Roman was going to happen at WrestleMania, and I think they're going to screw Cody, and I don't care because he was dumb enough to resign. Sorry, that was a rant, but yeah.
I'm sorry, the AEW just drips off his forehead.
All
right. I gotta tease you, Rob.
That's all right. That's all right. I wasn't saying it for AEW's sake. I'm saying I want WWE to succeed and turn the corner and get past Vince. If they do what the fans want this time, which is obvious, they want Reigns versus Cody 2 at Mania, finish the story. I know at least the people that were most vocal, there were like 300,000 dislikes on that segment. I think that if this is the litmus test, if they change the match or at least take the title off of it, then there's a chance WWE will change. If they don't and it remains status quo, then it's just going to remain Vince's company under his flunkies until the end of time.
All right, let me get in here now.
All right.
Everybody knows I see things a little bit differently. I look at it as a business standpoint versus fan standpoint. Fan standpoint, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was pissed the fuck off. I was mad when I saw that. I was like, what the? I came home and I'm like, I already dealt with that idiot at work that I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come home and I see that. I was ready to literally jump through the screen and do a Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the day and stun everybody in sight.
Oh, wasn't I home?
No, you was what? No, yeah, you were home because that was Friday night. Yeah, I was not you. It wasn't been y'all.
Okay,
it just the other people out there in the world would have got stunned. But but then again, as a promoter, as a business person, you have to take off your hat, your fan hat, and put on the business hat. What am I looking at here? We're looking at WrestleMania, the biggest show there is for the WWE, period, hands down. what more would they tune into? And this is debatable right now. And it's debatable what more people tune in for The Rock versus,
Rock
the
versus
tribal chief,
Reign.
or would they do Cody Rhodes to the tribal chief? And I'm sorry, I would have to state statistically wise, more people would tune in for The Rock versus the tribal chief, which means more viewership, which means more ad revenue, which means more money in my pocket that I could possibly get a girl for $12 million. Okay, so
Thank you for joining us on FTW.
how do I do this but still respect what Cody Rhodes want to do? Make it seem like it has halfway some sense, and try to make everybody happy, because you're never going to make everybody happy. That's just given. So as I look at this, my thought was, what's going to happen is The Rock would take Cody's spot, which he did, and it was going to be a triple threat with Cody, McIntyre, and CM Punk. Reason being, he said the key words in that ring, and nobody picked up on it. I mean, and I'm not talking about just y'all. I'm talking about even people like the Dutch Mantel, great guy. I respect him. He didn't pick up on it. Jim Cornette didn't even pick up on it. I did. And people gonna say I'm crazy, but hear me out on this. It was never meant for Cody to be in the main event of WrestleMania, which disappoints me, but it makes me happy. Because there was one individual that went through all types of ranks, defeated all type of people. He had one belt, and then he finally defeated a not young gentleman, but a gentleman named Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and was a double champion. And that was Goldberg. Goldberg had both belts, if you remember. He didn't get to keep it because one was a lower belt in the U.S. title, but people went nuts because he won both belts. That was the factor that everybody was like, he had both belts at the same time, at least for a short time. You know what I'm saying? Jericho had both belts, undisputed. They lift him all the way up like that. This was meant to happen this way. You get the lower belt. Of course, Roman Reigns shit all over it because he's a fucking heel. He's going to talk shit about that belt. That ain't nothing to me. Why do I want that? Who gives a shit about that belt? I beat everybody for that belt. Fuck y'all.
Bracket belt.
Right. You. And when he wins it, he's still going to be arrogant. You ain't did nothing. What do you think you've done? You've done nothing. But the biggest factor that a heel has, if you think that gets defeated, is being overconfident in what he does. By Cody winning that belt, and then he said, and Cody, you know how Cody is, I'll put my belt up for yours. Oh, I didn't beat everybody plus you for that belt. Yeah, let's do it so I can whoop your behind again. Blah, 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 blah. He's overconfident. He's overcocky. Cody wins at SummerSlam, and the eruption is humongous, bigger than what he would have had at WrestleMania, because everybody would have expected it at WrestleMania. They don't expect it at SummerSlam because they're like, he already backed off the title. How is he gonna win it? No, he ain't gonna win it because just like you guys reacted, he shitted on that belt already. You know what I'm saying? So the reaction is going to be 2 times as bigger when he wins it at SummerSlam than it would be at WrestleMania. So not only do you get the money, in the end, you still get the reaction you want to get. Because if it wasn't Roman and them, if CM Punk didn't get hurt, and let's just say they would have did Cody and Roman, and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, let's just say that would have happened, right? It'd have been Cody and CM Punk winning those titles, and it would have still happened at SummerSlam. Well, I'm the best in the world. Oh, really? Why? Because think about the promo that happened between them. Even CM Punk was getting that belt, he was not keeping it that long. He don't need it. It was meant Cody to get both belts. They're just taking a different way and approaching it, and I like it because they're getting the maximum amount of money they can get out of it. That was my biggest complaint before. If you think about the other topics that we talked about, why are they doing this now and they shorten themselves out of money? Why couldn't they did it this way, and this way? This is the maximum effect to get all the money you can, drain them pockets, turn them upside down, shake them, drain them pockets, and also give what people want in the end. That is true long-term storytelling and maximizing your dollar at the same time. Genius. I'm sorry. It's genius. And people are so up on this instant gratification, they're not seeing the big picture.
I don't think they had that faith in Cody to make him that man. And I've been saying that for over a year now. I don't think they're going to put Cody in that spot.
See, Bobby, this is why I wish that you specifically were booking WWE, because you could pull this off and make it work. The people in charge of WWE creative at the present time, I have no confidence that they would see what you've just spelled out or have the vision to do what you just booked. I don't. I see what you're saying, even though I don't like the fact that we gotta cater to the people who only watch wrestling 2 or 2.5 months a year just to get them going and to make all the money that you're going to make in a year in one event. I don't like that, but I understand that in the long term, your strategy would work. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. WWE creative could screw up a cup of coffee.
But Rob,
and
let me tell you this. They're on the right path right now. They're doing the right things. This is what I'm afraid of. That reaction that they had on Friday where people want this instant gratification is going to change shit, and they are going to fuck it up. Because they're going to react like, oh my God, look at what these people are saying. We got to do something different. If they keep the course right now and do what they got to do and go through the motions, they're going to get a bigger payout at SummerSlam with Cody having both titles than changing shit right now and reacting off of what they got right now. You're going to piss people off when you do this. It's just it's just a guarantee. There is going to be a sector of fans going to be like, man, it doesn't make any sense. Why he can't get the belt right now? Why can't he have the title right now? I'm so sick of Roman Reigns. He putting his finger up in the air and all that stuff. I'm tired of the Walrus Paul Heyman holding his belt cheesing like he's a chest of cheetah. I'm tired of Solo sitting upstairs sticking his thumb up people's ass. I'm tired of Jimmy just being Jimmy. I'm just tired of this shit. I'm tired. I mean, you're going to do that. You're going to get that. It's period. But this is the time to where you have to prove, okay, let them talk shit. Let them be mad. Because that anger, when you let it settle and you go to that long term and you finally give that payoff, it's going to give them double joy rather than just that instant gratification right there. It's like, I hate putting it like this, and I know we were talking about a subject earlier that just makes it sense, but it's like playing with your girl. You know, she gets you there, you're almost there, and she stops. And then she gets you there again, and she stops.
I missed this one.
And then she finally lets you go, fire hydrant.
And thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus, the sex ed edition.
It's the same concept. She be up in the ceiling like a scary movie.
Oh, thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Dear God in heaven.
If the roof went there, she might have shot up there.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Oh my God. Wow, we an hour and a half in the show and we get a barrage. Okay, here's the silver lining that I think we can all agree on. Whatever happens for within the whether it's between now and WrestleMania or now and SummerSlam, whatever happens, Vince McMahon is not going to screw it up. He will have, thank God, whether I was right or wrong before, he's really gone now. And he's not going to have any say on what this does unless The Rock is somehow his proxy vote in his absence on the TKO board.
No.
I don't think so.
Well, the silver lining in all this is that Vince at least is 99%, if not 100%, out of the picture. So whatever happens, it won't be him.
And we're gonna end it on that note because that is the truth. At least it ain't him. Yeah, I don't need him shitting all over the product too. But anyway.
Oh, and thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Dude.
Oh my God.
Well, you know, we do have Benny Mac shit stains everywhere. So,
boy.
Thank you for joining us on FTW.
Hey, I did hear a new rumor though. They get a new sponsor. Tide. It gets shit out of everything.
Thank you for joining us on FTW. Oh,
I thought you'd be the
God.
Head and Shoulders to get that shit out.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future. Hey, at least it's not Old Spice. And thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Wait a minute, wouldn't that depend on what fucking Vince ate that day?
Thank you for joining us on oh, for God's sake, please hit the James Brown. Oh, I am your not so humble correspondent, Robert Black, on behalf of the mastermind Bobby Rogers, Marvelous Marcus Buckley, and Tony Motown Allen. For the love of God, have a good weekend. We will see you in the future. James Brown me.
No shit.
Hit it.
Oh, how you feel, brother?
Feeling good.
You feel good?
Feeling good. It's grooving.
There's so much bone, brother. How you feel, man?
I feel all right.
I call your name. I don't want no people to know you're in here. How you feel, fella? Hey, Jam! Sure getting down. Look at him! Ha! We're gonna have a funky good time. 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 Let's take 'em up, Fred. We gotta take you high. Yeah. Ow! All right. You wanna do it again? You wanna do it again, huh?
Yeah, let's do one more time.
We gotta take